Stephen Bardo back at you talking about the Jalen Brunson situation, but this time from a leadership aspect. And I'm really speaking to parents of prospective student athletes and student athletes themselves who are highly ranked and highly rated that will go through this process. Now, I loved how Jalen Brunson handled the situation. He knew, being from the Chicagoland area in the state of Illinois, how important his decision was going to be, not only for him and his family, but also for the University of Illinois basketball program, who have missed out on a number of top players out of the Chicagoland area over a long period of time. And so the first thing that I really liked what Jalen did, he showed a lot of class. He was very measured, very careful of how he spoke about his decision. You saw him take the sweatshirt off and had a t-shirt on. He didn't do the hat trick like we saw Cliff Alexander pull off, which really was heartbreaking to a lot of Illini fans. So Jalen was very classy. Here's why the number one point that I think he was so classy. First, he's a classy young man. Two, his father, Rick Brunson, had been through the process. Rick wasn't as highly ranked or rated as Jalen, but was an outstanding player at Temple and also a very long and productive NBA career. Rick, being an assistant coach as well, understood what the ramifications of how this would look, how people would view his son moving forward, whether he went to Illinois or Villanova. So it was very good that I saw that Rick had a lot of input on this process. Everybody saw last year when Cliff Alexander stepped up to the mic, it was like a circus. The high school, I thought, made a huge deal out of the signing, out of the decision for Cliff. I think they took advantage of that. I heard that Cliff's father was not in on Cliff's decision until very late. He had recently come out of a correctional facility. And so Cliff didn't have the parental guidance, and most importantly, the guidance and knowledge of a father to understand how that's going to look on his young son moving forward. This is a much bigger decision than just today. And I applaud Rick Brunson and Rick's wife and his family for tutoring their son and really making him come off to be a solid young man. Also, if you notice, Juwan Evans, the other point guard in this scenario, the point guard out of Texas who visited Illinois, had a great visit, how John Gross and his staff have finessed this situation. If you're a recruit, which I was some 20-something years ago, I'm not going to be specific, but Juwan Evans still feels like he's not played second fiddle to Jalen Brunson. That's finesse from John Gross and his staff. They've done an excellent job. And now think about this. The young men and women who get recruited at a high level, they have access to everything. Via the internet, they can look up everything. They can hear every quote, everything a coach says about them and about other recruits. And what John Gross and his staff have done, obviously in this situation, to me, is to establish trust. And that means giving trust and giving respect to Juwan Evans and his family, because they watched what was going on. They knew that this decision with Jalen Brunson would impact Juwan's decision, whether he was going to think about coming to Illinois or not. So first, it was the parental involvement of Rick Brunson and his family to help Jalen go through a very difficult situation, but handle it with tremendous class. And also, John Gross and his staff doing an excellent job of being upfront and truthful with these recruits, letting them know where they stand, letting them know the position that Illinois has to be in. And I don't know this for a fact because I haven't talked to John Gross and his staff, but I'm pretty sure they explained the importance of Jalen Brunson's decision. Not that it trumped Juwan Evans and the staff's wanting him to join the Illini, but explaining to him that Jalen Brunson's an Illinois kid. Illinois has missed out on a lot of top-notch Illinois talent. And the way that this is being handled, it's going to be very interesting to see if Juwan Evans eventually chooses Illinois, how much people will realize the finesse that was used in the process by John Gross and his staff. This is Stephen Bardo, the Big Ten Network. Ahala. Peace.